So, hello, everyone. Oh, wow, it's 2:22. It is 2:22 as I'm recording this. Okay, so hello, everyone, and welcome back to GraceNicoleMyths Astrology and Tarot. A song had popped into my head earlier, Where'd You Go by Fort Minor, and it inspired me to do a reading. So, here we are. We did a divine masculine, divine feminine reading. This can be viewed from a place of self. It can also most definitely be a divine counterpart reading, as was the feeling that I got when I was pulling the cards. It felt like I was pulling for the divine masculine and feminine counterparts. Okay, so you can absolutely take it from a oneness perspective, mind being the masculine, the yang energy, and feminine being the yin or the receptive emotional energy. But I was guided to do this for two people, the divine masculine counterpart and the divine feminine counterpart. So if you don't know who your counterpart is, that's okay. You can decide which side you resonate with, knowing that your divine counterpart, regardless of whether you know them or not, is going through whatever the opposite counterpart is going through. Okay. And this is definitely speaking most directly to the divine masculine, because the cards that came out, I mean, the struggle is real. All right, the struggle is real. Before I get into each of them, the overall energies of the reading, top and bottoms of the decks, we had the Hanged Man on top and the Tower on bottom of the Icarus Tarot. We had Victory on top and Rest and Rejuvenation on bottom for the Energy Oracle cards. And then we had the Six of Swords on top with the Seven of Swords on bottom for the Naked Heart Tarot. So there's definitely perspective shifts going on. There's definitely divine pause going on. There's definitely a shift in the belief systems, the deeply subconscious, right, rooted belief systems that are taking the tower, right, that are ultimately taking the tower to end what is essentially wanting it all in the mundane without taking into account having it all in the more esoteric. All right. Wanting it all in the 3D reality and neglecting the soul-filled part of our human experience. The feminine and the masculine did show up on the energy oracle cards. We have a feminine energy on Victory. We have a masculine energy on Rest and Rejuvenation. Both cards add up to 10, the 28 and the 9. The 28, the 2 is a number of inner balance, and 8 of abundance, right, which is the beginning of the new cycle with the 10. And for the masculine, it's the 1 and the 9, which is the initiation of a closing in order to start the new chapter. And they're going through what is essentially a very deep inner conversation during this time. All right. The Six of Swords is about moving forward from tumultuous mentalscapes, mindscapes, and into more peaceful ones, the underlying issue being a lie being told to the self. And when I peeked underneath of the Seven of Swords, what the lie was, it was the Ace of Cups, and underneath of that was the Four of Coins. The lie being told to the self is that the other counterpart doesn't care, or that the other counterpart doesn't love you, when the truth is your other counterpart absolutely loves you. Like, you might be sitting here in disbelief that they don't love me, they don't care, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, but Spirit's kind of guided me here to tell you, yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you had a conversation with them right now, no matter what reaction they'd have to the communication. The underlying energy is very much love. Love is still very, very much present. As a matter of fact, the love is being held on to, intentionally held on to. Neither one of the counterparts actually want to let each other go. And as much as their wounded aspects, right, their demons would tell them they don't care, the heart space knows that that's a lie. The heart space knows it's a lie. So no matter what has transpired in the reality, no matter what words were exchanged to who or when, about, whatever, in this present moment, this divine time when you're catching this message, you need to understand that your divine counterpart still loves you very much and is holding on to that connection. That's still their truth. Okay, that is still their truth. They love you, and that is their truth. To believe otherwise is lying to the self. So, as we get into the divine masculine energies, we do have the world that came up in the reverse with cornucopia. From my energetic alignment cards, we have the shadows, looming expectations, dream waster in reverse, and spiritually irresponsible in reverse, which means that the masculine with these reversed shadows is very much in conflict, active conflict with those shadows, because they do in fact want to achieve their dreams with the feminine and correct their mistakes. Okay, they are actively fighting the demons that tell them this dream is gone, it's wasted, your time is wasted, you blew it, you can't fix it. Like, these are the active shadows at play inside the masculine's mind. And they're having this back and forth. Okay, they're having this back and forth with those shadows. They want to be idealistic and feel like they have all these looming expectations in the realities that they're in, okay? Because the reality is the cornucopia. They technically have everything they wanted in the mundane. They're in the home that they wanted to live in, or the type of home that they wanted to live in. They have all of the things that they wanted to manifest, right? They have the nice whatever, the ability to do X, Y, Z, but their world is upside down, right? The world is upside down. And they're being very much challenged because the world in reverse is the feminine, right? That's the feminine energy on the world card. The feminine energy has the world card in the upright on their side. I'm going to get to the feminine in just a moment. But the masculine's world is essentially upside down. Everything looks good on paper. If they were to describe their current reality on paper, it would read really well. And yet they are seriously battling these demons that are telling them that they've blown it. It's impossible. You can't fix it. You wasted, what might be the best love you've ever had. You've completely blown it, right? And they're putting all of these expectations on themselves to maintain a quote unquote picture perfect, abundant reality that is spiritually lacking. Okay, it is soul filling lacking, if that makes sense. It's the lack of what is soul filling. They have all the stuff and not the divine love of the counterpart, right? They don't actually have the divine love of the counterpart. So the guidance that came out from spirit to the masculine, in order to get out of these energies, right? In order to get out of these energies, because right now with the star card in reverse, clarified by the innocence of cups in reverse, there's this refusal to heal, a refusal to receive the wish granted or the dream, right? This refusal of the dream because there's an unwillingness to extend what I'm picking up as like a white flag or an apology. Feeling attached to a soulmate that is not attached to them, right? There's a commitment that they have to a soulmate that is not committed to them. There's no passion there. There's no desire there. There's no willpower there. There's no drive there. There's no spark, right? There's this attachment to a karmic soulmate, whether that's a romantic partner or family or a work situation, whatever it is. There's an attachment to a soulmate that is in reverse with the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is in reverse with the Knight of Wands or the movement of Wands in the reverse. This person doesn't actually inspire them to be better. This person probably is in constant conflict with the growth of the divine masculine. Okay. The Five of Cups clarified by Temperance in the reverse. The Temperance being the card of the divine feminine. They feel completely out of balance. They feel completely out of balance. The Five of Cups is of loss and grief and regret, and that which you wish was still beautiful and beating, right? The heart is icy cold. The heart is icy cold. And there's a certain amount of ancestral repeating with the crow symbolic on the card, or the raven, right? This black silhouetted bird. The masculine might want to look at their father figures, ones they know or don't know. Might want to look at their father figures and understand the energetic alignment that those men must have had when they were being hurt by those men emotionally, right? When they were learning lessons that were painful, right? Witnessing a man act or behave a certain way that caused them pain in the experience, right? And realize that this is how, where they're at right now is how those men ended up manifesting their ultimate outcome, where they are now, whether they're dead or alive. Okay. Known or unknown men to them. Like, where are they now? And that they are at what is essentially a point in the journey where they can choose to walk that path and relive that pain body of their fathers, or turn around and take a new direction, right? Choose a different path. There's a resistance to alchemizing or integrating their own feminine energy. Okay, there's a resistance to integrating the strong suits or the strengths of their feminine counterpart with Temperance in reverse. The reason why the masculine is grieving, the reason why they're feeling this loss is because the feminine has strengths that they have not chosen consciously to integrate. They have free will. It's a free will choice they have to make. Okay, so the guidance from spirit, right, is feel grateful and blessed for all you see and all you don't see, know and don't know. You have to be humble, right? This is eternal gratitude for the beautiful experiences that you've had and the not so beautiful experiences you had, because you learned what you do and don't want to be. You learned what hurts, and that you don't want to do things like that or be like that because you don't want to hurt people the way others have hurt you. If men in your life lied to the women in their life or diminished the beautiful equality of their partnership, right, that their partner is an equal, whatever it was that the masculines were doing to the feminines in their life that caused you pain to witness and experience, right? Because let's just say, your parents get divorced. Well, why did they get divorced? Going through a divorce as a child, it's a painful experience to go through the witnessing of a divorce. So what did they do? What did they do that caused the divorce? Because you never want to do that. Were there lies involved? Was there infidelity involved? Was there stealing involved? Was there secrets involved? Like, what caused the divorce? Were there addictions involved? Was there drinking involved, right? What was it? Was there betrayal? What was it that was involved? Was there inconsistency? Was there a lack of intimacy? Was there a lack of consideration? Like, what was it that caused the split? Because those things is what ultimately cause the masculine child pain. The masculine has to review these things and say, okay, these things are pain causing, and I don't ever want to hurt the people that I love, so I cannot do those things. I cannot lie. I cannot cheat. I cannot betray. I cannot take for granted. I cannot be inconsiderate. I have to be the opposite of everything that hurt me, right? Being grateful for all of the experiences because they taught you something. Spirit also says, open your mind. What if you were them, lived their experiences, and were dealing with you? Spirit's asking the divine masculine to put themselves in their counterpart's shoes. What if you were them? Masculine, what if you were your feminine? What if you lived their experiences and were dealing with you? What if they were hurt by certain types of men? What if they were hurt by certain types of actions? What if you're doing the same things and you're hurting your feminine? What if they can't stand being lied to and they know it, and you're manipulating them or trying to bullshit them, or maybe you are dealing with an addiction and it's painful for them. Like, what if you were in your feminine shoes dealing with you? How would you feel? How would you react to you? Can you put yourself in her shoes? Can you do that consistently moving forward before taking an action? Because that's called consideration. If I were in my feminine shoes and I lived the experience that they experienced, and I've been wounded by people the way that they've been wounded by people, if I take this action, how would I appreciate it if I were dealing with me as them? Because if I wouldn't appreciate it or I'd be hurt by it, I shouldn't do it. That's consideration. You also have someone in your life, right, that means well. It says they mean well, but they are wounded. Keep taking their guidance, and you are only wounding yourself. Their story is not your story. You have someone in your life, masculine, that you are taking guidance from, taking advice from, life advice, manifestation advice, family advice, romantic advice, any kind of advice from, maybe multiple different kinds of advice from, and they're a wounded person. They haven't healed their own wounds yet. So if you're taking advice from a wounded person, you're taking wounded advice, you're going to end up with a wounded result. You're going to repeat their story. You're taking all of their advice. You're going to repeat their story. It might not be the exact same, but the pain will be. The pain will be the same. The wounds will be the same. Spirit is having a communication with you in this moment, asking you to please separate yourself from the karmic energies around you that do not truly inspire you to be better or to grow, but that allow you to stagnate in your wounding, that allow your world to continue feeling like it's upside down, that it has everything, quote unquote, thing in it, and is soulless. There's no real soul connection there. There's no passion there. There's no true desire there. There's no nurturance there. There's no warmth. It's cold. The reality is cold, and that cold reality is out of balance. Okay. You may have to be willing to let it all go. The quote-unquote picture perfect on paper reality. Trusting that you can manifest it a different way, trusting that you can manifest it better of your own accord, and that you don't actually need whatever karmic is in your reality to create it for you. Like trusting in your own capability, trusting in your ability to achieve the dream, trusting in your ability to be spiritually responsible, trusting in your ability to create harmony with your feminine, trusting in your highest vision, believing in the ideal becoming real, because the current reality is not actually ideal. It's very conditional and very empty. Okay. The divine feminine energy. We have Temperance, came out with Moon Goddess, or Goddess of the Moon rather, and the World. Intentional Manifester, Self-Ownership, and Honest. And when I took the cards out, the Naked Truth Tarot out, Earth Mother and Heart of Swords, which is the Empress and the Queen of Swords, just flew out of the box and landed on the feminine. So on their side of the cards. So I left them over there before I did the insight shuffles. The divine feminine. The Empress is the divine feminine. Okay. And the Heart of Swords is a heart that is based in truth. Okay. The truth may be beautiful. The truth may be cold, hard facts. But this individual is very much in alignment with an open throat chakra and owns their own choices. This is self-ownership. This is someone who can essentially fix their own mistakes, correct their mistakes, owning what they've done, owning their actions, right? Taking responsibility, sole responsibility for the outcome of their reality and the choices that they've made, and being in touch, really in touch with their receiving energy. The moon, the goddess of the moon and temperance, and this has been a reoccurring theme with the divine feminine in the last one or two readings that I've done, because it's happened multiple times now where temperance came out with a moon card or a Cancerian card, right? Like the Chariot. Temperance ends up, it's been continuously coming out for the feminine with a moon card. So you may be dealing with a Sagittarian/Cancerian energy alignment with the feminine, right? Sagittarian sun moon rising or Cancerian sun moon rising, right? Where they have these elements, this fire, water, yin and yang element. The goddess of the moon is someone who is extremely intuitive. They are the world, right? The reason why the world is in reverse for the masculine is because the feminine is essentially the world. They are the end-all, be-all manifestation, the final manifestation. The entire world is the feminine. It is the feminine. Whether the masculine acknowledges it or not, the feminine is his whole world. Especially if that's all he's thinking about. That's all he's wanting. That's what's missing. See, the whole world that the masculine is in doesn't actually matter without the feminine, which means the feminine is the whole world. Feminine is the whole world. Everything else the masculine is dealing with is an illusion. This is the goddess of the moon. And so that the feminine is aware, right? The message from Spirit, it says there's order to my chaos. Nothing is what it seems. If it, quote, makes no sense, it's because it doesn't. And you are to stop trying to make sense of it. Maybe thinking it is crazy. Like, if you think feminine, if you think, right, if you are out of your intuitive space, if you are out of your heart space, and you are misaligning because, you know, the masculine's energy is dealing with disbelief, okay, do not believe that your masculine can't heal. Don't buy into the idea that he never loved you. Don't buy into the idea that he doesn't care that he hurt you. Don't buy into the idea that reconciliation is impossible because the healing is impossible. Like, remember who the fuck you are and remember who the fuck he is. Thinking otherwise is nuts. Which is interesting because I'm going to get into the guidance cards at the end. I pulled 2 guidance cards from my Rumi Oracle. Right now, the Divine Feminine, we have the 3 of Wands clarified by the 2 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man clarified by the World. Again, the universe is the World card in this deck. And the Ace of Swords clarified by the Heart of Cups. So again, we have this truth energy, this Ace of Swords energy, right, coming from the Heart of Swords that came out with the Heart of Cups, this watery moon queen, right? This Heart of Cups is the queen of water. This person, whoever the feminine is, they are in alignment with the truth. They acknowledge the truth. And their heart is still in it. Like, if the masculine, if you're telling yourself your feminine doesn't love you and it's impossible and you can't fix whatever wrongs that you've committed, you are mistaken. Like, you can't let your demons win on that one. They're lying. Your demons are full of shit. They've probably always been full of shit. They've probably always betrayed you when it came to the feminine. Like, you can't buy into these fears. You can't buy into these insecurities. You can't buy into the fact that once you make a mistake, it can't be fixed. Like, maybe you learned that from the fathers in your life. Once you make a mistake, you can't fix it. People leave and they're gone and it's done and you can't repair it. And that's a lie. That's what you've witnessed. But that was wounding that you witnessed. It's not healing that you witnessed. Okay? The feminine is looking at the journey and is being patient with the 2 of coin. She knows there's a window in front of her to move forward. She knows there is. This is what I mean. It's a lie to the self to think that the feminine is not holding on to love for the masculine, because she knows there's the window to move forward in front of her and she's being patient instead. She's not walking through the window just yet. Like, there's an hourglass there. Eventually, she will have no choice but to move through the window. But she is consciously aware of the ability for herself to move forward and choosing not to. She's holding on with the Hanged Man in divine pause for her world, which is the masculine. She knows that she's the queen bee. She knows that there's no other before her. She knows that she is the masculine's first option. She knows that she's the masculine's only option. On a soul level, an alignment level. She knows. Goddess of the moon, trust me, she knows. She's in divine pause. Waiting for certain wounds that the masculine is resting and rejuvenating through. She's waiting. Because the truth is, she loves the masculine. She loves the masculine. She wants the world with the masculine. She wants to build the cornucopia, the abundant reality, the dream achieved with the masculine. That's actually what she wants. Whatever demon is telling the masculine you can't fix it, you fucked it up that royally, you can't fix it, whatever that demon is, like, she's waiting for the masculine to tell that demon to go fuck off and that they're wrong. They're wrong because the masculine's actions are going to speak louder than whatever words the masculine would offer the feminine. The actions are going to speak louder. That's that Mars, the tower energy. That letting go of the picture perfect on paper reality. Taking that risk, right? On what their soul knows. The heart space of the feminine is in alignment with the masculine. They've got the whole world right now waiting, in waiting for the masculine. Truth is, the feminine loves the masculine. It doesn't matter how pissed off she's been. It doesn't matter what things that she's said. It doesn't matter if she was hurt and responded in a very hurt way to the masculine when she was reconciling the fact that she was wounded by the masculine. Betrayed, lied to, whatever, by the masculine, whatever the fuck up or fuck ups were. At the end of the day, she cannot lie to herself and say she doesn't love the masculine, because she does. The masculine doesn't think he could be forgiven. Star in reverse, Innocence of Cups in reverse. He doesn't think that he could be forgiven. He doesn't think it could heal. But it most definitely can. You'd be surprised just how much the truth, when spoken and put into action, can heal. The masculine didn't prioritize the feminine before, he can prioritize the feminine now. If the masculine didn't believe in himself with the feminine before, he can believe in himself with the feminine now. It's just a matter of the truth being acted upon. If the feminine is the whole world to the masculine, then the masculine can act from a place of knowing that his feminine is his whole world and not jeopardize his world. That can happen in the now moment, because at the end of the day, the past is just a lesson waiting to be learned. It's not the present. And the future is not in stone. It is yet to be written. So whatever your shadows would tell you, like, no, this is this way, this is the future, you could never have her back in the future, you could never have your feminine back in the future, that future is not written in stone. We always have the now moment to choose what path we're taking. And the masculine is definitely going through a serious battle with their demons right now. So, as we get into the guidance, I pulled from my Rumi Oracle cards, and I got the Impossible Made Possible, card number 9, and the Divine Mother Manifests. Now, these cards, as guidance, are a reminder that nothing is impossible. Nothing. We live in a world where what is seemingly impossible is possible all the time. Like the sun burns with a heat powerful enough to warm the solar system, to light up our solar system, has the power to destroy everything, and yet it is the life-giving force and what makes life possible and sustainable on this planet. You know what I mean? It's a seemingly impossible thing, and yet it's possible. We're experiencing it. It's real. So, how could it be? The card talks about how can this be, all these impossibilities? How do we take for granted the fact that we witness impossible things all the time? That we would truly believe that anything is impossible when everything is possible. It's a matter of flipping impossible to I am possible. This card talks about water And water is symbolic of love, right? Water is the element of love. I'm just going to read a piece. It says, "What strongholds can resist love? It is water. It seeps into every available space and changes form to survive in every environmental condition. With unfailing intelligence, it creates life from steam to ice, rainfall, the river and ocean, rain descending into snowflakes, snow capping the peak, expressing itself with beauty and genius. It nestles under the earth and rises to the sky only to return to the earth again. It will erode blockages and prevail, no matter how long that process takes. It carves the earth into shape and form. Where it is, there is life. Such is the adaptable intelligence and persistence of water, just as is the power of love." So now you are guided by this loving power to drop the doubt, shed the incredulity, and open up the mind. Allow your imagination to be inspired as though you are a child in a great garden, hearing the breath of the earth in the wind-whipped leaves and the voices of ancestors in your bird song. When your heart is much more powerful than your mind, you won't unintentionally block the incredible grace of manifestation seeking to pour into your thirsty soul like the sweetest, purest waters of blessing. And at the very end of this card, and it's something that I had written and hung up on my wall for the longest time. And so with this card coming out, I'm going to offer it to you that you can say it aloud or repeat after me in your mind. Okay. With my beloved, who loves me unconditionally as my witness, I now offer myself into the hands of the all-loving creative intelligence of this universe. I release all vows, intentions, or beliefs ever made, consciously or unconsciously, in this life or any other, that are based in doubt and fear, holding back from creative fruition of my soul upon the earth. I dedicate myself to love and accept the gift of grace that brings me into greater fulfillment now. May I be blessed so I can surrender resistance and accept what is coming to me now for what it is, a gift of love. So be it. I love that. And I hope that you honor it. I hope that you honor it within yourself as beautiful, loving vibration gifted to you from the universe to help you shift. To help you shift from whatever dark place you have ever found yourself in. Take a moment and just absorb that in. All right, because as we get into the Divine Mother manifests. The Divine Mother manifest speaks about our heart space and the alignment of our heart space, knowing that the divinity of us, the spirit of us, the soul of us, the truth in us, the beauty in us, the potential of us is forever manifesting. And it is always on our side. No matter what lessons we're moving through, as long as we learn them, we can move forward. As long as the lessons are learned, we can move forward. It's a reminder that nothing is actually impossible ever. And that if your heart, your soul is guiding you in a certain direction, to not fear what you have to lose, but to trust that you will receive it back better than you currently have or believe that you could have. and I will speak for myself as a divine feminine. I will speak for myself. My own twin flame dynamic, which has been a journey, to say the least. It's been a journey. When I met my masculine, he became the love of my life the minute that I met him. I knew it. And the last few years have been extremely difficult. They were extremely difficult. And I knew he was dealing with certain shadows. I knew he was dealing with certain demons. I knew he was dealing with certain ancestral karma and certain childhood wounds. And I was very intuitively and consciously aware of what was going on. And it did, in fact, get to a point that trying, right, to be there for him was hurting me. And it was hurting me a lot on many different levels, to where I really had no other choice spiritually but to leave. And let him figure it out. His energy, his soul, his healing, his lessons on his own. I never actually wanted to leave him. I never wanted to stop loving him. And, in the most recent video that I'd done, the final chapter, or whatever it was that I titled it, I had expressed that not only did I not want my divine masculine, I didn't want anyone like him. And that is true and also not true. I do not want my divine masculine or anyone like him per the version that he was when I left him. I don't want that version of him. That's not his best. I don't want that version of anybody. It's not their best. But my divine masculine showed up as his best. If he showed up with his best, could I forgive him? Yeah. Yeah, if he showed up as his best, was ready to give me his best. The him that I always saw in there. The him that I always deserved to receive. He showed up with that. Yeah, I could forgive him. Do I still love his soul? Absolutely. Do I love the version of him that I left? No, I don't love that version of him. That version was painful. I don't love the pain. But his soul, him, the beauty of him that I saw, I'll always love that. I'll always love that version that I saw, that I know is in there. He didn't bless me with the experience of it yet. So to the masculines out there that need to know that you can be forgiven, my masculine or otherwise, then please know that yes, in fact, the love is there and the love is real, and the divine feminine holds that. She holds that in soul. She can't be around your wounds. It's painful for her. But she doesn't not love you. She doesn't want you to be unhappy. She doesn't want you to feel empty and alone. She doesn't want you to manifest a world without her. She wants to be your whole world because you are hers. You're her whole world. Everything your feminine does, has done, will do, at the end of the day, it's always for you. Whether it's for your peace and your bliss and your joy and your safety, your security, or your healing and soul, everything she does is out of love for you. Whether it's staying or leaving depends entirely on your own alignment and your own choices, your own ability to stay on her energetic vibration, and vice versa, and vice versa. I will always love the masculine I knew that was in there, but I won't tolerate or accept or settle for less than that. Because I won't accept or settle for less than my best self. I can't do that. I can't do that. And my hope is that no masculine out there would settle for less than their best self either. Like, you are fully capable. I know I believe in my masculine, even from a distance. I don't know how long it's going to take him. I hope that he brings his best forward sooner than later. I've accepted that the journey is what it is and the healing process is what it is, and I can't make it go any faster. I just have to do my best every day. Remember the good things. And when I get upset or angry thinking about the pain, to tell my demons that they can go fuck off, because that's not who he is. That's not who he is. That's the wounding of other people on him. But that's not who he is. He's the best version that I see in my soul. He's the best version that I see in my heart. He's the best version that I see in my beautiful visions of what my future is, my dreams. My masculine brought his best self forward. I'd be ready to have him be my whole world all over again, especially knowing I'm his. Everything can be forgiven. Every mistake can be owned up to and forgiven. And forgiven. You can't go back in the past and correct mistakes that were made. But you can look at every mistake made in the past and vow to never make that mistake again. Because the result was painful. And you and your counterpart don't deserve to feel that pain. They don't deserve to feel that pain. I'm pretty fucking certain my divine masculine thinks there is not a shot in hell I'd ever take him back or even want to talk to him. But he'd be wrong. He'd be wrong. So don't let your demons get the best of you. Remember who your divine counterpart is. Remember who your feminine is. She's your feminine. So, guidance. Trust that the love is real. Trust that the connection is real. Trust that your best version is real and that it's not impossible. And that the change is good. that the growth is good, that the different is good, that the new is good. Trusting clean slates, trusting clear conscience, trust in your connection, trust in your connection, trust in happiness, trust in your own ability to manifest your dreams, believe in yourself, believe in the best. Don't you fucking let your demons win. Never. 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 So with that said, my love and support is with all of you on this journey, forever, now, and always. And thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you. Till next time, guys. Drop a like. I appreciate it. It helps my channel. Leave a comment. Let me know if this message resonated with you. And I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.